AKM Musha is the Sudan director at Concern Worldwide, a humanitarian organization. Musha, thank you so much for being with us. You think about the position that Sudan was in prior to the conflict. Sudan already had major humanitarian needs, especially given the worsening economic situation of the country. There were millions of people already who were food insecure. And on top of that, the country was also dealing with climate change. Just walk us through how much worse things have gone. How much has the situation on the ground there deteriorated over the past month?
Hi, Jen. Thank you for inviting me to join this program. In Sudan, as you mentioned, the people are suffering. Over 16 million people are in need for humanitarian assistance before the conflict. And when the conflict started, the situation has become worse, and people at all levels are in crisis. They are running for safety, saving their life in safe places inside Sudan and outside Sudan. Many of the people are fleeing Sudan and reach the border of different countries. And inside Sudan, the situation is really a grave situation. It's a huge humanitarian crisis is there. People have run out of food. There is no electricity. The water supply shortages. When people are moving from their house to different safer places, they could not take anything. So they are in really terrible situation. And on top of the previous situation, this has aggravated further, and people in all levels need support.
Yeah, you list out some of the issues on the ground there, and on top of that, you have a paramilitary group using hospitals as strategic bases. What happens to the people who need medical attention right now in Sudan, given that the fact that there are a number of hospitals, especially in Khartoum, that are not even operating right now?
Yeah, there are many hospitals in different places and not operating. There are a number of reasons for that. One is the either hospital are hit during the fight, or there is no the doctors and nurses. They cannot really reach the hospitals. And there is no supplies in the hospitals. They run out of supplies. There is no medicine. There is no other medical consumables to run the hospitals and provide support to the patients. So in this situation, in many of the health facilities in Sudan are not really operating. They need acute. They are in acute support of need from different level.
So the people who you touched on, the people who have managed to escape outside the country. Obviously, there are people who managed to flee to South Sudan, to Chad. What can the international communities, what can they do right now to ensure that these countries have the adequate infrastructure to prepare for these new arrivals?
Yeah, in different countries, when people are arriving there, and Concern Worldwide has been supporting the Sudanese refugees in Chad who reached to the Chad border, and also Concern is supporting in South Sudan, while the Sudanese people have reached to South Sudan. Concern has planned to provide support for health, for nutrition, for non-food items like blankets, mattresses, the household items, the utensils, water buckets, so different items. In addition to that, Concern has planned to support the shelter materials. They plan to distribute shelter materials. So in both South Sudan and Chad, we have been planning this to support these people.
And in terms of your organization specifically, I mean, Musha, Concern actually had to pause operations initially when the fighting first broke out. You then managed to get some of your workers out of the country. There are a lot of workers, though, from what I understand, who still remain within Sudan. I mean, what are you doing to keep them safe at this point?
Yeah, I mean, after the the conflict broke out, our primary focus was to ensure the safety and security of our staff. We have had international staff and also national staff. So we looked at both groups. We supported our international staff to evacuate through Port Sudan. And also we have been guiding and supporting people to go to the safer places, our national staff. And all our national staff are currently safe. I have been communicating to them, and our headquarter colleagues are also communicating to them to ensure they're safe and guiding them to be at the safer places. And in certain areas where situation has a bit calmer, like in South Kordofan and West Kordofan states, these are the two states a bit calm, where concern operates. We are planning to resume our operation. Our staff are on the ground. They are doing the assessment. And also we are assessing the Darfur situation, where we are also operational, to see as soon as the situation improves, we will resume our operation. In addition to supporting our Sudanese colleagues in country, we are also organizing a group of experts, our rapid deployment team, who are expert in different areas like health, nutrition, food security, water and sanitation supply. So we are putting together a team to again enter into the Sudan, including myself. I lead a team to go to Sudan again to support our national colleagues for the humanitarian operation.
Right. AKM Musha, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. We'll have